Hello, welcome to Absolute English. I'm Coach Kori, and this is Kori's Question Box, the teen edition, where I answer 5 randomly selected questions, and then I invite you to do the same. You can answer one, two, all 5, or none. Maybe you just want to read what everybody else said in the comments. That's okay. You can do that. So let's start with question number 1. Who has the greatest impact on the direction of your life? So who has the greatest impact on the direction of your life? Well, speaking from an adult perspective, I do. I have the greatest impact on the direction of my life. But when I was growing up, obviously my parents did. My family did. They had the most impact on the direction that I was going. And they certainly had that all the way through my undergraduate degree program. I very tight family, so I seek their advice, and I still do. I still call my parents and talk with them and ask them for advice. I also happen to look to my husband and ask him for advice. And sometimes I ask my kids. My kids are teenagers, and they have some great insights on several different topics. So really, it comes down to family. So my family are the people who influence me the most and have my entire life. And then outside of that, a very tight, close group of people who I also consider family. So that's how so it's not a who. It's not really a one person. It's more like a group of people. Question number 2. What's one of your best memories from childhood? I have a few. So, and this is going to relate to another question that I answered in a previous video or a different video, teen video. All right, so I have this friend who I've known since I was 8 and she was 9, and she is the person who, whenever I got in trouble as a kid, it was with her. Everything, every time I got in trouble, it was with this one person, and it usually was pretty hysterical, the things that we would do or get in trouble doing, which involved oftentimes getting caught doing things we weren't supposed to be doing. So that, yeah. So a lot of my great memories come from us getting into trouble and then getting caught, or not getting caught, because there were a couple times where we actually didn't get caught, and those are secrets. Question number 3. What age should a girl be allowed to pierce her ears, go on a date, or stay out until midnight? Okay, I don't think this applies to a girl only. That's my view. Piercing a girl's ears or a boy's ears, honestly, I don't care. That's where that comes down to that. I don't care. There may be some benefit to having the ears pierced when they're younger. Um, I know people who do it when they're just babies, particularly for girls, do it when they're babies and all of that. But really, it comes down to when does that, if that kid wants their ears pierced, when do they want their ears pierced? I was 6 or 7 years old when I got my ears pierced. My mother swears that it was my idea. I really don't think so. I think it was her idea. Don't think it was my idea. And I remember it being painful. It hurt to get my ears pierced. In fact, they pierced one, and I was screaming and crying so much I wouldn't let them pierce the other ear. And it took them a long time to convince me that they needed to do the other ear. I was fine with just one. I was like, we'll just have one earring. I'm good. So, and go on a date. All right. So this one, in our family, our children are not allowed to date. We have a son and a daughter who are teenagers, and they're not allowed to date. And when they want to hang out, they can hang out with a group of friends. That's what they're allowed to do. We don't agree that it's a good idea to do that when they're at the ages that they're at right now. It distracts them from the things that they really, in our view, need to be focusing on, which would be school. In our family, the only job our children are required to have is school. They're required to focus on school. If they want a job outside of school, maybe they can do it, maybe they don't, but we don't force that. During the spring and summer, we're fine with, oh, get a job. Do that. That's a great experience. But during school, our focus, their focus needs to be on that one job that they have, which is to be a student. So that's how our family approaches it. So they're not allowed to date. And this is becoming interesting because one of our children is 16. When are they allowed to stay out until midnight? They're not. When will they be able to? Um, well, they could be at a friend's house till midnight. We've allowed our children to do that, and then we pick them up, and we allowed them to do that when they were, I don't know, maybe 12-ish, 11-ish. But this would have been with families that we knew, and we knew them well, and then we were comfortable with that. And the kids had gone over for a party or something like a birthday party, and it was going to go until 12, until midnight. So as long as we knew the family and we were comfortable with the family, we would let them do that. Um, so I guess that's the end of that question, right? Let me double check and make sure. Yep, that was it. Just those three things. What's your favorite brand? I don't have a favorite brand necessarily. I'm not really loyal to any particular brand. There are some things that I purchased that I thought were great. And so, yeah, I was more likely to buy something next time from that company, but I don't necessarily have a favorite brand. So, for example, I have a blender that's made by a company called Blendtec, and this is a phenomenal blender. I love this blender. If it breaks, I'm getting another one. I like that blender. It works. But if there was another one on the market that was as good as that, I might get that blender. I don't know. So I'm not real brand loyal, I guess. Number 5, who's your oldest friend? Now this is tricky. This is tricky because my closest friend, when I was 8, about turning 9 or turning 8, and she was 9, um, she's probably one of my oldest friends, long-term friends. But I grew up with, I have one brother, and then we were raised with another family. We were all very close. And so we were so close that we called each other brother and sister. So they really actually are my oldest friends because the one that's the boy in that family, he's the same age as my brother. They're about 3 days apart, actually, from their birthdays. And then the girl in that family is a year older than I am. And so we just kind of go in order. And we literally had been raised together. So when we all get together as family, we're just all family. That's how we look at it. So those are probably my oldest friends. But what about you? Leave your answers if you would like to in the comments, and I look forward to reading them. Hey, remember to subscribe, and I would love it if you shared Absolute English with the people that you know who could use it. Until next time, see you later.